Howdy folks, this is Father Dougal 9000 here, and welcome to another episode of Dougal's Game Finish Chronicles, a series where I talk about the games I've played and beaten as part of the Game Finish Challenge from the Hardcore Gaming 101 forum. Also welcome once again to another trio of map packs created by various fans for the wicked good 3D platformer Sonic Robo Blast 2. This time going for a mix of short but fleshed out adventures that alternatively provide more fun to have with this gameplay style and some fun story-driven wackadoo times. As usual, these were all played on Windows in version 2.2.9, and links will be available to download them if possible. These map packs were originally logged from the 24th to the 27th of July 2021. Chaos Domain. This is a 4-zone mod developed for earlier versions of Robo Blast 2 by the Sonic Robo Blast 2 Chaos Domain team led by CoatRack, and it was ported to version 2.2 by Ketchupik. That's a name. It's decent enough. There's some very cool ideas like the puzzle-heavy second act of Egg Mansion Zone and the complete desolation of Stronghold Forest. Most stages also seem to have a couple ways to get through them, which is very much appreciated when you encounter a route that you can't overcome. Also, it just makes for a cool way to replay the game, as per usual. However, I found the enemy placement and overuse of the Egg Lancers in the second half of this pack very obnoxious, as they constantly rush towards you while you're trying to explore or solve puzzles. Made every stage feel like I had to rush to the end, so I wasn't really able to appreciate their ideas or explore for secret areas as much as I'd like to. This isn't for me, but it's still fairly impressive all the same. Sonic Adventure Genisys. Not sure how to convey the odd spelling vocally, but you can see the name on the screen, so that should be fine. This one's a goofy April Fool's mod by Rogerregorroger, who made the Sol Sestancia Part 1 mod I talked about in the previous video. The gist behind this one is that Sonic Team has gone back in time to remake Sonic Adventure using what are generally considered the worst elements of their more recent games. Wonky 2D sections, an overemphasis on Green Hill Zone nostalgia, obnoxiously dissonant snark humor, all that jazz, and effectively replacing the original. In response, the cast send a Knuckles-based Terminator complete with terrible Arnie impressions to stop Sonic Team from their dastardly schemes. This one here is a mix of levels inspired by the original Sonic Adventure, and then some very meta levels that are amusingly strange as they are bitter about the state of the series, at least as it was in 2021. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that, as I'm rather bad at knowing where the line is between deliberately silly goofs and only slightly exaggerated grievances. Even for April Fool's jokes, I genuinely can't tell unless it's deeply and blatantly obvious. But there's one moment that did make me burst out with laughter at the sheer concept and how it looks within the game, so I'll recommend you give this a go at least for that bit. Apologue. This is a level pack made by RomioTheBadass. RomioTheBadass. And while I initially attempted to play through it as Fang, having done all the previous mods as Tails and wanting to try something a bit different, I got stuck on a very tough part that only really works if you have a character with some mid-air control like Tails or Knuckles. Or maybe it works for everyone, but for a clumsy dope like me, it worked best with someone I could actually move around in the air. So I started over and, out of frustration, more or less flew over all the platform-centric challenges, which resulted in this pack actually being fairly forgettable. That's pretty much my fault, since there's plenty of moments where I could and perhaps should have bothered to play the stages properly. There's a few good stages like Sunken Library Zone and Quandary Canyon Zone, and I like how most of them transition from one stage to the next. but I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. Maybe I'll give it another go at some point. Who knows? And with that, we've wrapped up another Robo Blast 2 showcase. I hope that you enjoyed watching and that you'll tune in for the next video in the Game Finish Chronicles series. Thank you so much, and until we meet again, have a wonderful day.